Good morning, Zompark!
Good morning, Zompark. Well, it's been a while, and we know you've missed us, so we're back. We're coming back. We're like Backstreet's back. Not that we've ever really been anywhere, just like shit gets in the way, and every now and again we have to take a little break.
Stop
and you miss us
waffling, you twat.
Sorry, I feel a little bit out of practice.
I know, but you don't have to do anything. There's no actual practice involved. Your whole reason for being on this podcast is to talk shit and genuinely call me a cunt. That's your job. There's not much to practice.
Yes, that is true. You are a cunt. Oh, I thought of a thing. I thought I'm going to do a thing. A podcast thing.
You thought of a thing.
A podcast thing.
Is this a light bulb moment when Bex has had a thing? Boop! Oh, there's a light bulb. She's had a thing.
Yeah,
What
I was
is the
literally
thing?
like on the bus the other day, and I thought, I can do a thing.
You can do a thing. So what is it? I know it's a podcast thing because obviously we're on a fucking podcast and you've just said it's a thing. But can you enlighten the listeners as to exactly the thing that you might be referring to? Maybe.
Yes, I can indeed. Mm-hmm. So I thought I'd start a new feature because we've not had a feature for ages. But I thought I'd do Bex's zombie fact of the week. What do you think?
Bex's zombie fact of the week. No, that needs work.
Bex's zombie fact of the week.
Yeah, yours is better.
I don't know.
Bex's
you need to do a jingle
fact.
for me.
Bex's zombie fact. Bex's zombie fact of the week.
Bex's zombie fact of the week. It doesn't really ring.
No,
we'll work on that. We'll work it.
We need some work. Okay, well, I like it. I like the whole thing that we need a jingle. There's a regular slot for the thing. So what exactly is it? What is the Bex's zombie fact of the week?
So my zombie fact of the week is there is a disease that tends to affect like poorer countries, so kind of like sub-Saharan Africa, like Asia, places like that, and it's called yaws. YAWS.
Yep, yaws.
And it can actually make people look like zombies. So the disease actually causes like painful sores, like oozing, icky sores on like the face, the legs, the arm, and the feet. And because the wounds are like on the bottom of the feet and they're really painful, it can cause them to kind of shuffle in like a zombie-like state. And of course, then they're like got sores all over them, so they look a bit undead too. So I just thought that was an interesting fact.
Are you so? Obviously, I want to discuss this a little bit because I've never heard of yaws before. Yours. That's what I'm calling it. I've never heard of it before. So when you say it makes them look like a zombie, is that just in the fact that they sort of shuffle along and are covered in sores? They're not actually dead.
Yeah, so people with yours, like they're not actually zombies. They're not actually dead. They just look like it. So if you kind of entered them into a Halloween competition and said, "I am a zombie," they would win first prize because they'd actually look convincing.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So you're saying,
shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like so their feet are kind of covered in sores, which is why they walk funny. They probably have a distant look in their eye because obviously they're covered in sores and they're ill. But they're not actually undead, as it were. They could be.
It's probably painful, so they're probably like.
So they're. Thank you for that. This is why you work in the healthcare industry because of such. The diagnosis is immense.
Yeah.
So so when they're not actually, they haven't got zombie. They have the characteristics from the outside of looking like zombie. So is it
zombies.
Presents as zombie? Yeah. Are they dead? I mean, like, do they die? Is it?
No. Apparently, it's very curable. They just need some penicillin.
Oh, that's all. So it's literally just an infection.
Yeah. So all is right with the world.
Oh,
if only zombie could be cured with penicillin.
Yeah.
We'd not have many books.
Maybe maybe it is that simple. Maybe that's the way it gets about. So, I mean, has anybody ever actually mistaken one of these people for a zombie? Has anybody? Because they sometimes have like in villages and stuff in some poorer countries, they mistake people for witches or supernatural occurrences. Has anybody ever?
No.
No.
I didn't do that much research. Now, obviously, if someone with yours kind of came around the corner where I live, I'd probably think they were a zombie and I'd drop kick them. But that's not happened yet, so I can't really say.
Do we ever get it in the West? Do we get it in like the UK?
It doesn't seem that we get it. There must be cases of it. I'd have to do some more research.
Okay. I'm just concerned.
Research.
I'm concerned. That's what it is. I mean, because I don't want to go on a mass killing, a rampage. If I saw, 4 zombies coming around the corner and I go murder them, I don't want to then find out that I could have just given some penicillin. That would be, it'd be regretful. I would regret.
Maybe you always just need to carry some penicillin on you, so you can just give them the penicillin first, and if they don't get better, then you can kill them.
Yeah, but if they are zombies, I'm going to die, giving them the penicillin. I'm in a catch-22. This disease has confused me. I'm confused by it. So, that's an interesting fact. I never knew it. How do you spell it again?
YAWS. Yours.
Yours. Okay. So I never knew about it, and I'm sure other people didn't know about it. So next time we do a podcast, are we going to get, another one of these insightful, intelligent facts?
Well, I can't promise that. Sometimes they might just be plain old stupid. But, I will try and do an intelligent fact for you.
That's very good. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this new feature already. It's, the first...
zombie fact of the week.
Yeah, the jingle's going to need some work.
Yeah.
But I think the feature itself, the sound... Yeah, I like the segment. I think we're going to keep the segment. That's going to stay in. The jingle is what it is. Except for when it's not. That's
Bex's zombie fact of the week. Do 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 do.
Okay, so what are we doing this week, Bex? Apart from Bex's zombie fact of the week, what are we actually doing? What's the plan? Have we got a plan? Do we have a plan?
We have got a plan. This week we're going to interview the wonderful David McCluskey.
David McCluskey! Who's David McCluskey? Who's David? No, seriously, who is he? Should I know who he is? Is he famous?
He's actually he's written
Aha! You have yours. She has yours.
Have yours. David McCluskey, he's got a book out. He came out today called Crack, and that's like a graphic horror novel. No, it's not. Beck,
I like him already.
Get your head in the game.
Anybody who sells crack is good for me.
It's because I'm hot.
I'm not saying nothing. Carry on.
David McCluskey writes horror books. He also does graphic comic novels, He has done lots and lots and lots of stuff. He's even done a rhyming version of A Christmas Carol. He's basically a talented guy. He's a talented guy.
Sounds like a nice guy. I like him.
But
I like him
We'll
already.
talk to him. We'll get more insight into it because there's only so much you can learn off Google.
I'm a very big fan. I'm a very, very, very big fan already. I hear he sells crack. Does he sell crack?
He doesn't. He sells a book called Crack.
Oh, okay. So I'm not as big fan as I was, but I'm still a fan. Okay.
I'm still a fan.
Let's interview him.
So this week we have a guy who's got his fingers in many, many pies. He writes graphic novels, he writes zombies, he loves a bit of gore. He's also a stand-up comedian, which I just think is well cool. He's also a Scouser, but we won't hold that against him. It's Dave McCluskey.
Easy, Tiger.
Welcome, Dave. Hello, David.
Hello, how are we all?
Good.
We're all right. Oh, I love saying hi to people. So, Dave, how long have you been writing, mate?
Well, I've been writing for maybe 7, 8 years.
Oh, long time.
Yeah. I was only a young boy when I very first started.
Yeah, you must have been practically
I was still
in your mother's womb.
I was still in short trousers.
So have you got a job as well as writing, or do you just do writing full time?
Well, right. If I tell you this, I might have to kill you. But
No.
I work in IT for a company, and we decommission nuclear reactors.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
that's
off.
so cool. Don't.
That is actually the truth.
Wow. That's
I've
amazing.
got a friend who does IT for the Greater Manchester Police Terrorist Division.
Oh my word!
Wow.
Now you see, it sounds boss, but I bet you it's the most boring, mundane.
No, he
like.
tells me so many stories that you probably shouldn't tell me.
Well, I could tell you loads of top secret stuff, but it just bore you rigid.
So, I mean, when you're working in IT, Dave, and you're decommissioning nuclear whatsits, is there still lots of turning it off and on again, or am I just being a bit overdramatic there with the IT job?
Well, I went to university, and it took me 4 years to learn how to turn a computer off and how to turn it back on again. Yeah, and I've actually got a degree.
It's complicated.
It says on the wall. It says I'm the best rebooter in the entire world.
The rebooter. It's
rebooter. I'm actually pointing at the wall. You can't even see it, but I'm pointing at the wall.
I've got a friend who works in IT, and he always calls it a power-up cycle. We don't reboot. We don't turn it off and on again. It's a power-up cycle.
A power-up cycle.
Yeah.
That's making it sound really posh.
He's got delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
When I got the job in the nuclear decommission, my mum actually thought that I was in the nuclear reactors with a brush and a bit of vim, and I was washing these nuclear reactors down. She's like, "Oh, David, he's so clever. He's in the nuclear reactors every day."
Oh, I love you, Mum.
To be fair,
seriously, she's a legend. She really is.
To be fair, Dave, when you first said it, I was thinking the same thing. I thought you was a bit Homer Simpson style in there with a broom washing it down.
Well, I am very Homer Simpson in the fact that you could replace me with a brick on a stick. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And all the people I work with will actually verify that for me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's because you have a good team around you, Dave. Yeah, fucking replace me with a brick.
Yeah. I'm the motivator.
Yeah. I mean, Dave, Bex was before we started this interview. Bex was telling me all about you and all of the different sort of strings to your bow. Obviously, and that was
I didn't do a good job of it.
No, she said he's a waste of space. But that was before.
Right.
But that was before we even talked about the IT and the nuclear stuff. So, I mean, when you started out writing, what was your intentions? I mean, because I know you do the graphic novels and the comics, and you obviously you write comedy and you write all sorts, and you do lots of different stuff. So, what did you start out doing? What was your sort of start off in the sort of the arts, as it were?
Right. Okay. This is the story that I tell everyone, and it's 100% true, right? And it's quite boring, but I'll tell you it anyway. About 7 or 8 years ago, like my daughter's she's 10 now, so she must have been about 2 or 3, and it was Christmas Eve, right? And we were lying in bed on Christmas Eve, and it's become a little bit of a tradition. And I was reading it the night before Christmas. Okay. Now, because my voice is so boring, she was well asleep by the time it had finished, but I was getting right into it. But so I'd read it. And I got to the end, and I thought to myself, wow, do you know what? This guy has made a fortune on this. I could do that. So I got out of bed, and I got straight on my computer, and I just wrote these notes down for this like story about what happens if you get on Father Christmas's naughty list.
Ooh.
And it came out in rhyme. It wasn't meant to be in rhyme, but it came out in rhyme. And then I had to make Father Christmas sort of like the bad guy, because I have got a bit of a twisted brain. So yeah, and then that became the Good Behaviour Act, and that was the first story that I put into my first graphic novel, which is called Interesting Times. And basically, if you get on Father Christmas's naughty list, he eats you. So
why graphic novels and why not just a normal novel or a screenplay? Why graphic novels?
Well, I always loved graphic novels. When I was growing up, I had a cousin up in Scotland, and he was a massive DC and Marvel Marvel fan, and he always, and I was up there all the time. He's going, look at what Batman's done now. Look at what the Flash has done now. Look at what and Doc Ock and all this. And Doc Ock is great for the Scouser. It's like I just had to wipe my screen. Doc Ock. So and he was showing me. So I always had a proper love of graphic novels. But then what happened was I sort of like, as I got older, I got into music and I started playing in bands and stuff like that, and just sort of like fell out of love with graphic novels. Not fell out of love with them. Stopped reading them. And then one day when you just didn't have to. I've always been a massive novel reader. Do you know what I mean? I've always got like 3 or 4 novels on the go. Or dotted around the house and stuff like that, mostly in the toilet where I read until my feet go numb, which is too much information.
Yep. So
if it's too much information.
Bex might give you some medical tips on what to do when that happens.
Well, I would advise that you wipe your bum before you get up.
Before you stand up.
Yeah, because when your feet go, when your knees go from underneath you, and
you don't want to smear shit everywhere.
Yeah.
That can be a mess. Be a mess.
Someone's got to tidy that up, yeah. And the wife never looks at you quite the same after that.
Luckily, I had the door locked. I was bleeding. I'd banged my head against the door. There was blood everywhere. And I still wouldn't let the paramedics in. No, don't look at me.
Poo in my bum.
Just slide some wet wipes under the door first.
Wipe me before they come in. Wipe me. But anyway, we digress again. So one of the lads in work, in a job I worked at ages ago, and he said, "Have you read this?" And it was The Watchmen, and I hadn't read it, and I hadn't read the graphic novel for ages. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll give it a go," and it just brought everything back. Absolutely, the love of comics. That graphic novel is just unbelievable.
Loved it. I love it. Oh, when are they going to do a proper
I've
film?
never read one.
You've never read one? Oh, you have?
No. What have I read yours now?
There you go. You read one.
Yeah, that's one.
I broke your cherry.
I might read some more though, to be honest, because I really enjoyed it. Like, so you sent me a couple of links to your work, and I read 3 Days in the City, and I did. I really, really enjoyed it, and I could see it was almost like, you know, when you reading, you have to use your imagination. I didn't have to use my imagination because it was right there on the page. It was like reading a book and watching a film at the same time. It was well cool.
That's the best thing about it, is that you can just totally immerse yourself into it, and it's like everything's there for you. It shows you. You know exactly what the person looks like. You know exactly what the scene looks like. You know what the dialogue's going on, and that's why I love them so much.
And do you know what I found really great? How I can't remember the person that illustrated it, so you'll have to forgive me, but he kind of like, he could capture the anguish on a cartoon character's face, and that really intrigued me. Like, I nearly missed my stop at work because I was like on my iPad, like flicking through, because I didn't want it to end.
Well, the guy who did the artwork for that is a guy called Leo Says. Now, he never wanted me to use his real name because apparently he's like some sort of
Is it Leo? Is that who it is? Is that his real name? Leo Sayer? Is that what?
Yeah, because he's like... So that he was too embarrassed about being a singer that he didn't want people to know his real name. No, he's a big time psychologist. That guy who did the artwork for that, and he's
really?
He wanted to differentiate his artwork life from his professional life. But he's no longer. I got in touch with him a while ago and asked him if he wanted to do another one, and he said no. He said he's completely out of that now. He's not doing it no more.
Oh, that's a shame.
Which is a shame, because his artwork's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, it's almost, I could see the emotion on the face, and it's a cartoon. I'm sitting there on the bus, reading it and thinking it's so real, and the emotion's so real on the person's face, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
The other ones I sent you, they're called the Few, and that is
I quickly finished the Few number 1. I'm going to read the Few number 2.
Right, okay, that's going to be 6 in total, and it's all written. It's just that it's dead expensive to actually get done. So 1 and 2 are complete. Yeah, 1 and 2 are complete. Number 3 is the artwork's finished. I've just got to get the lettering done.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm halfway through the series then, and then I just need to get some funds together and get the rest of them.
Yeah, it's like creating like an audio book or a short film. It's sort of the ideas are a ten a penny really. It's the actual the production. It costs so much money, doesn't it? And that's where sort of sometimes
you don't realise.
Yeah. Well, you think I've got a brilliant idea for a graphic novel, and then you sit down to do it, and then you realise, you have to be a good writer, you have to have a good idea of story, and then you have to be you have to know fantastic artists. It's a lot to put together, isn't it? It's not just writing a story.
It really is, because the way you need to do it, because like when you write a novel, because I've wrote 4 novels now, so when you write a novel, and the easiest bit is getting the story down. That's dead easy. But it's the editing, it's the reiteration of going back over it and back over it and back over it. So it's like I released a new novel yesterday, Crach, and which is another boss word for a Scouse. It's Crach.
It's amazing.
It's me Crach. So I released that yesterday. I'll never read that because I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
But with a graphic novel, you write the story and then you make it into a prose, and then what I need to do is I need to script it then so the artist knows what he's looking at.
Yeah.
So you're almost doing it like a film montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a storyboard almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I when occasionally I sit down and write, I tend to write in almost like a film. That's how I write like a film, and then like you said, I have to go back over and I have to edit it, and by the time you put it out to the public, you don't ever want to see it again. You've had enough of it.
No, sick to your back teeth of it.
Yeah. Whereas obviously imagine with a graphic novel, once you've done all that hard work and then the artist sends you his interpretation of your work, that must be quite an exciting thing to do.
It is. It is when the artist gets it. But if the artist doesn't,
you've got to find someone that works well with you.
Yeah. See, I've touched lucky in the fact that, like, because I've been doing it for so long, I've got quite a plethora of artists that I can use.
Yeah.
And they'll contact me and ask me if there's any work going and stuff like that. And because I know what artwork they want, so I will write a graphic novel for their artwork. So I've got a graphic.
Because you know what people are best.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I've got a graphic novel called Doppelganger, and it's a full graphic novel. It's 100-odd pages. It took us quite a while to do. But when I wrote the story, I wanted to... Have you ever seen it? Do you ever remember an advert years ago for an alcoholic drink called Mets?
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
I might be a little young.
The man. Yeah. I bet you drank it, though. But it was the Judder Man, and it was like dead Eastern European sort of like jumpy artwork, and that's what I wanted. And I found this guy from Poland, and he just hit the nail on the head. He just got it right from day one.
I mean, the Judder Man was like puppets, wasn't it? It was like that black and white puppetry that they have in sort of Russia and Eastern European. It was that type of thing, wasn't it?
I'm going to have to look it up now.
The Judder Man, when the moon is fat. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, no, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was scary as shit.
Google it tonight. It'll scare the shit out of you.
I do remember that. That's ringing a bell.
Dave, you've written lots of different genres. You've done comics. I hear you do a bit of comedy. Have you done a film? Did I hear you did a film as well, Dave? Or you was involved in a film somewhere?
I've just gotten involved in a film. There's a guy I know from Liverpool or from Merseyside. He'd probably kick me head in if I told him he was from Liverpool. He's doing a montage of films. So he's doing like 7 or 8 short stories. But what's going to happen is going to be an underlying theme. And one of the themes he's got, one of the stories that he's got about a comedian. So he's asked me to write it. Don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know why. You're a boring fella, really.
I'm like that. He wants me to star in it as well, and I was like, I don't know. The camera puts on.
You can do that, mate. Easy peasy.
Easy.
I mean, it's
peasy.
Because you've got your fingers in so many pies and you do lots of different genres. Do you have a favourite? Do you have a favourite medium you like to work in? Do you have something that you when you need to relax, you can sit down and work on that and do that?
Well, do you know what? Yeah, I do. It used to be the graphic novels. I used to absolutely adore doing graphic novels, but now I always thought to myself, I'll never write a novel because it's too much hard work and it's too it's too what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like there's too many people who are like, oh, the grammar's incorrect and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've now gotten so into writing novels that's what I do when I'm actually, you know, on my downtime. So like a lot of my girlfriends,
it's like a relaxing.
She's like, yeah, she's like, do you want to watch to tell you? No, I'm in the middle of killing somebody with an iron. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's, yeah.
Do you know what?
So she's quite weary.
I can actually get where you're coming from with that there, Dave. I do that to relax as well now as I sit down and write.
Yeah, it sends you away into somewhere else, doesn't it? Somewhere different where your God and what you say goes, and if you don't like that person, you just kill them off.
And to be fair, it is cheaper than drugs, isn't it? So it's you know,
maybe I need to start doing it.
Yeah, it would save you a fortune in crack.
Yeah, it's a different type of that. Yeah. But I tried writing on drugs, and it didn't turn out well.
Was it just a scribble on a page? Was it just like a pair of tips?
It was like it turned into a self-portrait, and it was the most horrific thing I've ever written.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It sounds.
So you've got a book out at the moment, haven't you? You've got your latest thing that you've been writing is Crack, as we keep mentioning, and that's out today. Tell us a bit about it, because I've kind of read the synopsis, but our viewers probably haven't.
Right, it's
our viewers, our listeners. We don't have viewers.
Your viewers, yeah. You just see the picture of your dog. It's like one of the most boring. I've not seen this film before. Now, what Crack is like? Crack is a very, very dark and a very violent psychological horror. It's about a guy who's sort of like your everyday guy. You know, he just works and he works at a half-decent job. He loves his family, and he has a horrific accident that's absolutely no fault of his, and he gets a form of PTSD, and he gets an addiction, but and he's addicted to crack, but it's not the crack that you think he's addicted to. It's not the crack that you're thinking about.
Oh.
Actually, it's not really a spoiler because you find out on the first page anyway. But the actual crack that he's addicted to is the noise it makes when he runs people's heads over with his car.
I love it already.
That wasn't the crack I was thinking of.
Downloading that. That's the next book going on my Kindle.
Yeah. So the noise, he's losing sleep and blah blah blah, and the only way you can get any relief is to find the crack.
Wow.
See, I like it. I could just listen to it. To be fair, I could just like listen to you saying crack.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. Crack.
Hey, listen to speciality websites for that, love.
Oh, yeah, marked on them.
Yeah.
I charge a fortune.
That's. I'm literally googling them right now.
You can't afford me.
So, Dave, do you have a website? Where can our listeners find out about you and what you do and your next book? Have you got a website, social media, etc.?
Yeah, I don't have a website as such. I'm in the process of like getting a website together.
I mean, you've got a lot of work. I think you kind of need a website.
You do.
Yeah, everybody always says that, but I own the domain of damaged.com because my sort of production company, what I put myself out is Damaged Comics, spelled with a double N. So I own damaged.com, and there's a little something up there, but it's not even a work in progress, if you know what I mean. But I do have a guy who said he's going to look into it for me and actually set it all up, because I do think I need it, because I'm all over social media. I'm on Facebook all the time, and I don't really know what I'm doing on Twitter, but I just flap about on it. I can't stand Instagram.
See, because I looked you up on Amazon to try and look at your work and get a little bit of an idea, and I didn't realise you wrote under D.E. McCluskey.
Yes.
So I searched for David McCluskey, and the first hit that came up was some kind of book to help medical professionals pass OSCEs.
Yeah. Did you know?
And I did an OSCE at university a couple of weeks ago, so I'm looking at it, and it's traumatising me, because I'm sitting there thinking, he better not have fucking written a book about fucking OSCEs, honestly. I'm sick of them. But I thought, no, that's probably not you. And then I figured it out.
That's not me. No, I write my novels under D.E. McCluskey. But my graphic novels have always been under Dave McCluskey. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them over to D.E.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also write kids books.
Yeah.
So I've got a number of kids graphic novels, and I've actually just wrote a novel for kids, which I'm hoping to bring out by this Christmas. But I think it might be next Christmas because it might be a bit of a copyright issue because it's about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But it's a pure kids book, and there's a series of them. I've wrote a synopsis down for 5 more of them. So I'm writing them under Dave McCluskey.
Mm-hmm.
So
just
so
change his
kids,
name. Call him Ralph or something like Ralph.
Well,
Ralph the Reindeer.
Ralph the
Reindeer. Ulf. His name is Ulf. OLF.
Ah.
And he's got Tourette's. So
this doesn't sound like a children's book.
Yeah.
yeah. But it turns out.
Also, fucking cock-nosed reindeer.
Yeah. It's like fucking hell, Father Christmas.
Oh, you say it's not a children's book. My kids have fucking loved that.
Yeah. Well, I've also wrote, and it's coming out in August. It's finished. I wrote a book which is like it's a chick lit book.
Yep.
I think I told you about it, Rebecca, didn't I?
You did tell me about it, but I think you thought I was the other bird.
Yeah, I did. The one who's the PTSD nurse. Or
Yeah, I'm thinking. What the bloody hell
going on in my life? Honest to God, I did, like, the two names couldn't have been any further apart, could they? But yeah.
No.
But yeah, so I wrote a chick lit book, which is like Bridget Jones's Diary type vibe, and I wrote that because it's a chick lit book. I think like most women won't want to read a chick lit book by a bloke called Dave.
Yeah.
So because it's just sort of like Dave.
So you're going to be Davina, or are you going to stick with the DE?
No, is it Ashen?
Two of my nieces. I got one niece called Ashley and one niece called Emily. And whenever they go anywhere, everyone always says, "Oh, where's Ashen M?" So I've called it. So it's by Ashen, Ashen, and then middle initial M, McCluskey.
Excellent.
So that's coming out in August.
If that's a hit, if that's a massive, seller, and sometimes romance novels can be, they'd be huge. People are going to be really disappointed you've got a dick. People are going to be going, when you find out that someone's got a dick, you're going to be, fucking hell.
All the time. Like, I'm constantly disappointed when people show me their dicks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the worst thing is when you go to Thailand.
Yeah.
Find out someone's got a dick.
Dick, no dick.
Find out they've got a dick.
No dick.
I must admit,
I've
I've had it with authors before where you're reading a book and you assume it's either a man or a woman, and then you look them up on Twitter or something and they're the opposite. And I'm not. It sounds sexist to say, well, I'm not reading that shit again, but it's just sometimes your interpretation of that person's voice then changes and it kind of ruins it a little bit.
I always thought you had a vagina mark.
Yeah, I do. I both. I'm one of each, as you know.
I've got several in jars.
Ooh.
Best place to keep them. Right.
And on that note,
we shall end this interview with class. Yeah. They're in with the pickled eggs. Right. Everybody, thank you very much for coming along, Dave. It's been an absolute pleasure. No doubt Rebecca has pissed herself laughing because she does that regularly with or without you.
Why are people calling me Rebecca?
I don't know. Some days I call you Rebecca.
You need tenner lady.
Tenner lady.
Thanks.
Or a cork.
Cork.
Right, Bex. Right, Dave. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. And
thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for coming on. And we'll speak to you again soon.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Go and eat something now. Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy, guys. Bye now.
Bye. Right, Bex, that was fun. We enjoyed that.
It was.
I
said that really loudly then.
You did. He was like, it was.
It was.
Dave.
I knew Dave was going to be. He was going to be a great guy. He was going to be a great interview.
Scouser.
So.
Do you know there's only one negative side to Scousers, and I love them because they have a fantastic sense of humour, but they talk so fast, and us Southerners who normally talk really fast, they talk equally as fast, and then we sort of we get out of step with each other in our conversation because one's going really fast, the other one's going really fast, and we just blah.
You wait till you eat shell at GMZ Live, then you'll.
I'm just going to get drunk. That's the answer.
That's going to be the answer to everything.
So, Dave, thanks for coming on the show. It was a great pleasure. We'll have you on again. While you're mentioning GMZ Live there, we still have some tickets available for GMZ Live, so you can get those. If you go onto Facebook, we're going to be pushing that over the next few weeks. If you want to get your hands on some free tickets, then just join the Facebook group, and no doubt we can sort something out for you. Other than that, they're for sale. We have
they're like £3. We're not even making any profit on anything.
Yeah. No, they're not a lot of money, and you can come along, and if you buy a couple of drinks, that'll be awesome. But there's going to be Bex and I are going to interview 7 different authors, so we're going to do 3 different panels. One's going to be indie zombie authors, one of them's going to be about films and TV, and the other one's going to be about horror authors. And so 3 different panels throughout the evening. In between, there's going to be some entertainment, and obviously there's going to be a whole bunch of booze at the bar. So if you want to come and talk about zombies with like-minded zombie people, then you're more than welcome. Bex, what else do we need to discuss on today's podcast?
This week, once again, for the second time, GMZ have won Zombie Book of the Month Club. Woohoo!
We have,
and it's a brilliant book.
Oh, thank you very much, Bex. That's very kind. It's not my brilliant book, it's our brilliant book.
No, it's everyone's brilliant book. But you pulled it off with Matt, and it is a thing to behold.
It is a thing to behold. It's been number 1 in the horror anthology list on Amazon for 3 whole weeks. That's number 1.
3 whole weeks? Number 1?
3 whole weeks.
In horror anthologies, there's fucking hundreds of them fuckers.
And it's a bestseller, and it's doing really well, and it's just won Zombie Book of the Month, beating Mark Tufo's new book, which is an achievement in itself. So
how do we beat Mark Tufo? Oh my god!
I don't know. I mean, Mark Tufo is such a big star that I actually have words that he said nice about our book printed on the back of the actual book, and then the book goes and beats him. Yeah, so there you go. That's how big a star he is. And
his next book, he needs us to write something nice about him for his new book.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I sent Mark a book in the post to say thank you for saying nice things about our book, and I signed it, and I drew a small penis in there as well because I
just
thought,
a small penis.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. I don't want him to feel, bad about British people's large penises. So I just sent him a small one. So just, so he felt
just a small one. Just a small penis.
So The Queuing Dead is doing really well. If you haven't had your chance to get it, it's £1.99. It's free on Kindle Unlimited. So if you want to jump on Amazon and get it, it's a fantastic book. It's got a whole bunch of different authors. It's got a story in there from me, from Matt Hickman, Duncan P. Bradshaw, Suzanne Sussex, and a whole bunch of other wonderful people whose names I forget, even though I've read it thousands of times. I think that is everything for today.
Everything.
We are due back soon. We obviously have a few more podcasts before we do GMZ Live.
Indeed.
We need to finish Zombie Ate My Panties. I need to crack on and get that done. We need to get some who's the person who wrote Zombie Ate My Panties? What's her name?
Jocelyn Dex.
Jocelyn. She needs to come on
and
need to come on. I think when we do the finale of that book, like when we do the last few pages, we should get her on and she should do a bit with us. We should do all 3 of us together.
She should read it.
Yeah, she should read it. And then we can all laugh about zombie penis together in the way that we always did. Anything else to say, Bex? Have we got anything else to Oh, we're going to have Bex's Zombie Facts of the Week again next time. Is that coming back?
It is coming back. Every time we do a podcast, I shall do a little random zombie fact.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. You're going to have to prepare that, though, every week. Every time we do one.
That's fine.
You have to prepare a fact. Because one day I'm just going to go, where's your facts? And you go, oh, shit, I forgot to do a fact.
That's okay, I'll just Google one.
Okay, you'll Google it while I'm there. Okay, cool, that's fine. So that'll be cool. Have we got anything else to talk about? Have you watched, on Netflix, have you watched Cargo with...
I've not, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, I remember the short film that was called Cargo. It was back in 2013, wasn't it? Which the film is based on. And I'm sure you've seen the short film because it went around the internet like wildfire.
Oh, the one with the
dad with a baby on the back.
Yesterday he was bitten, wasn't he? And then he carried the baby on his back, and so he couldn't see her, so he couldn't turn her into a zombie.
That's it, and that was
caught me in the fields.
An amazing short film. It caught me in the fields too, and it was an amazing short film, and that's what this is based on. And it's got the same title, except it's got Martin Freeman in it, who's obviously Bill. I do. I love. But to me, he's always Watson. That's the problem. So I see. But I mean, he's great in that. He's great in obviously The Office and everything else that he's in. So, and Fargo. He's incredible in Fargo.
Yes, he was really good in Fargo.
The only thing that, like, the reason I haven't actually watched Cargo yet is because I love the short film, I love Martin Freeman, and if I watch it and it's shit, I'm going to be very disappointed. I will be disappointed. So I'm saving it until I'm in the right mood. The other thing that's on Netflix is Rain. Have you seen Rain?
No.
No? Okay. So this is, I watched a couple of episodes of this and I wasn't keen. So the synopsis is, there's a family, and the dad's a scientist or whatever, and then there's a deadly rain comes in, and he quickly gets the family, rushes them to a bunker. In the process, the rain kills him, and then the rain kills the mum. So and then there's just the kid stuck in the bunker, and it's like a really good first episode idea, but from there it's just shit.
I'll give that a miss then.
That's just my opinion on that. From there, it goes downhill. What else? I guess that's it. Do you know what I would recommend to people, zombie fans who are searching through Netflix and have got bored with, Rain and have already watched Cargo? Why not try Z Nation? People overlook it because of The Walking Dead. But Z Nation and Russell Hodgkinson, who plays Doc, great program, and definitely something I would recommend.
Definitely.
The new Day of the Dead it's Day of the Dead Bloodline, isn't it? That's on Netflix now as well. That's atrocious.
I've not watched anything for ages. I feel really out of the loop with zombie stuff right now.
Well, what I want you to do, Bex, there's a little bit of homework between now and the next podcast, is to watch something on Netflix. It doesn't have to be zombie related, but if it is, it helps. But watch something on Netflix, and next time you come on, you gotta review it for us. Okay,
no problemo.
Okay,
Until next time.
Give us Bex thumbs up. So it's 2 thumbs up, if it's good, or 3 thumbs up if you slept with your brother, and then it's 4 thumbs up if you're Cornish, and then things like that.
Okay, cool. I can do that. No problem.
All right. Okay. Right. I think that's it then. That's definitely it this time.
Yes.
Okay.
Until next time.
Done. So, thank you very much for listening, listeners. Thank you, Bex, for being a wonderful host as usual.
Thank you. Thank you for being a penis.
I am definitely one of the penises on this podcast. If anything, I feel like that your skills as a presenter and a host have been more finely tuned than mine. I feel like you was once the student and now you're the master, and now I'm...
Yes, I am. I am the master. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay, cool. Right, thank you very much, everybody. Oh, I didn't even say a word. It was like, thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye. Done.